And good evening, and we welcome you to another wonderful night here at Milner Stadium for opening night of the 2025 fall football season. It's a beautiful night here, great weather for football game, and we are starting just in time to see kickoff between Gulfport and Picayune. Gulfport's going to be receiving first to start this one, so we'll get an early look at our offense, which is going to be replacing a lot of key players from last year, but we are returning our top skill guy, Cooper Crosby, a senior who had over 1,300 yards and 17 touchdowns last season. He'll be joined in the backfield by key newcomer Parker Nettles, who transferred from Silliman Institute in Clinton, Louisiana, and a whole host of new receivers and a lot of new offensive linemen. So we'll get a good early test to see what this new-look offense is going to be like tonight. Tonight we're going to be joined by a lot of student commentators as well. I'm Jake Chambliss. And right now, I'm joined by Tavion Collier. Tavion, welcome to the broadcast.
Thank you, Coach. I'm glad to be here. You know, this is one of my first times doing this, but, you know, I'm here, have a blast, watch a good game, you know, ready to be here.
Awesome. Well, Picayune is set to kick off, and the ball is away, and the 114th season of high school football in Gulfport is underway. That's Cordarius Payton with the ball, reversing field, and he's going to be brought down just short of the 20, and that's where the All-Admiral offense will get this thing started.
So, Coach, how long have you been doing all this broadcasting stuff?
This is my second year on the mic, on the headset. I kept stats the year before, so it's my third year of really tracking the games. It's a lot of fun. It's a great way to enjoy our school, our sports teams, and the game of football itself. So.
Yep.
All right, Nettles in the gun with Crosby in the backfield. He's going to motion Javius Hills in. And he's going to get the quick pass. Good blocks out front. He's got a lot of space.
And he's gone.
He's got a lot of room to run. He's going to be tracked down from behind, but he's getting to the 40-yard line. There's a flag at the end. It's going to be on that tackle.
What a way to jump out of the gate right there.
Yeah, that is going to be right at a 50-yard pickup. It's going to be a Horn Custom Jewelry first down for the Admirals. And that is going to be a flag added on to that play there.
We can take anything to get closer to the hole.
Yeah, now so Gulfport's going to have it around the 22. It's a handoff to Crosby. He's going to try to get outside. Can't quite get there. It's going to be maybe a yard on the pickup.
Yeah, I'm expecting Cooper Crosby to have a really breakout year this year. Another one, hoping that he can really get some really good looks. I know he's committed, but you know you can always go better.
Yeah, that's right. And they're check back here. You know, one thing about this offense, they like to get to the line quick and then sometimes go, sometimes they check. Nettles going to roll out here. And that pass is dropped. Oh, looked like it was going to be intercepted there.
That was close.
Intended for Camden Morgan. One thing about this with Nettles, they are going to do a lot of rollouts. They like to get him moving a lot. So we're going to see a lot of those rollout passes, the ball going to the outside. But
like for him to stay on his feet.
Yeah, we got away with one there. So now we get our first third down of the evening. Be 3rd and 10. They're going to motion over tight end and Hills and Stubbs. And there's another rollout. Nettles, he's looking for Morgan again, just not quite. A little bit short.
All good, though.
So that one falls incomplete, and we got a 4th down. And looks like Carter Platt's going to come out for the field goal attempt. So this is going to be a 39-yarder here. Carter was the backup kicker last year, had a few attempts, hit a few extra points in blowout games, so he's This isn't his first varsity kick, but this is his first night as the number 1 guy. So a little bit of a wind in his face here, but not too much. Snap good, and it looks like he got around the side of it a little bit. Didn't get much height under it, so that one's going to be no good.
It's all good. Just came up a little short there, but no, hey, got to get it next time.
Admiral's first drive of the year. Picked up a lot on the one big play to start us off, but no points, and we'll see our first look at the Admiral defense, which is expected to be really one of the strengths of the team this year, particularly the front 7. It's led by the big guy in the middle, number 22, Trey Peters, who was the Region 4 Defensive Player of the Year and first-team All-State in 7A. You also got 2 really experienced defensive ends, Javon Anderson, number 3, and Lord Robertson, number 33, up in front of him. It's Picayune 1st and 10 on their own 18. They're going to toss it outside, and that is tackle number 1 on the year for Trey Peters. That's one of many to come. He had well over 100 last year. It's going to be a modest gain for the Maroon Tide. They're at the 25 now. Picayune motions the guy across, another hand up to the middle, and it looks like that's Trey P again. 2 plays, 2 tackles for the big guy in the middle. It's going to be 3rd and about 3.
Coach, you know how many veteran defense players they have on this team?
On our team?
Yeah.
Quite a bit. Really, the only spot we don't have a lot of experience is in the secondary, where we have one main returner on the secondary, and that's Pierre Felder, number 7. But for the most part, the front 7's guys with experience have played a lot. Toss goes to the outside, and Anderson had a good look at him, just couldn't quite get him. That's going to be a tight mark. That was Pierre Felder. Just mentioned him on the tackle coming down from the safety spot. It looks like Picayune just barely picked up that first down. So that'll move the chains there. Just got across the 31. And that's what Picayune's offense is going to be. It's not, anything special. It's very, very old school.
Yeah, I was just going to say the same thing. It seems like after their first couple plays, they're not really big on throwing the ball.
They might throw 4 or 5 passes tonight total. Last year we had a huge lead on them, and that's about how many they threw. Another run back up the middle, and L.J. Robertson snuffed that one out. That's going to be a very short gain, if anything at all, right there. Yeah, good play from him up the middle.
This kind of play has its very small benefits, especially with a good defense.
Yeah, and that's the thing is, with their offense, they're not necessarily trying to put up 50 points every game. They want to wear you down, and the real test is how are we going to hold up against them in the second half and the fourth quarter. Do we get worn out, or do we still stand strong against them late in the game after we get beaten up a little bit? Handoff goes outside, and he's not getting much there either. Looks like that was Maje Frederick on the tackle there, guy who got a little bit of playing time last year. He had a lot of reps on special teams, not much on scrimmage plays. He made a big tackle there, so it's 3rd and 9. And they're going to roll out. We'll see our first pass of the game, and that is going to fall harmlessly incomplete.
Nowhere near it, man.
Yeah, threw it pretty hard there. Picayune's quarterback, Colt Robertson, he's a senior. His first year as a starter. Winged that one pretty hard for Xavier Dennis. Guy had a little bit of playing time last year, but that one fell to the ground, and we'll see our first punt. Admiral's going to send Cordarius Payton back to return this one. Picayune's punter, by the way, gigantic guy. A little bit of an unorthodox, but you got he's the defensive end, Nolan Wilson. He's one of their better players. He's committed to Alabama as a defensive end, but he also grew up playing soccer, and so he's got a really strong kick and leg, and He just showed it off right there. Cordarius had to back up a good bit on that one, but he makes a guy miss. Getting a little bit of momentum forward. Ooh, took a big hit just short of the 40-yard line, and that's where the Admirals will start their next possession around their own 38.
Yeah, a little something about Colt Robinson. I know he plays a little bit of baseball. I was out there with him on the All-State games and Meridian, and the All-Coast games, I'm pretty sure, is at West Harrison. Pretty good ball player. Hopefully he can transfer that into football too.
All right, so the Admirals' second possession is going to start on our own 37. Same personnel as last time. It's going to be a handoff. It's pulled back, and he's going for Javius Hills, and that's completed. And that's going to be a face mask as well.
Flag on the play.
Just across midfield, gets to the 48 in positive territory, but they're going to add a few more to that. It's 2 catches for Hills, 2 big plays to get us going.
Seems like these two teams have totally opposite game plans. One is to throw, one is to try and beat you down.
Yeah, it's very, very much a contrast of styles. 7.5 to go in the first. Nettles motions Cam DeMorgan across, and he's going to swing pass out to Cooper, and he's going to get tripped out. Oh, good job of fighting for a few yards. It's going to be a gain of about 4 or 5 there.
Second down here.
Yeah, it's a good job of not letting that turn into, Cooper fought through that.
Really used his momentum to help him get some.
Absolutely.
Some more.
So, yeah, and you know real well because you've been a teammate of his for a long time. He's a guy. He's a tough guy. He's going to fight for everything he's got.
Oh yeah, Cooper Crosby. He played baseball with me last year. I'm a senior myself, and yeah, man, he fights off. He's a tough guy. I mean, as you can see, he hits the weights pretty hard. He's a pretty strong guy, pretty physical guy.
And he's going to get that handoff, and he's got a lot of space to work with there. It makes a few guys miss, and he gives that defensive back a ride for about 5 yards. That's another Horn Custom Jewelry first down for Gulfport.
Yeah, as you can see, he's also really agile on his feet, really able to move quickly.
Yeah, and that's part of what makes him so dangerous. He's a big guy. He's really well built. He's pretty thick guy, solid muscle, but he's also got a lot of speed, and he can make guys miss. He can be shifty in spots when he needs to.
Yes.
He's kind of a complete package as a running back.
It's one thing to have.
This is also Gulfport's first trip in the Citizens Bank red zone tonight. And it's going to be an offsides on Picayune before we do anything else. And now we'll get up to the 12. Again, first trip to the red zone tonight, sponsored by Citizens Bank. Last year, Gulfport, 78%. Handoff goes to Crosby, bounces outside, got a little bit of space. Oh, he cuts back, and that's a great move right there. And now he's down to about the 2.
He's not just a physical player, but very smart. Knows what he need to do.
Very much so, but man, that the shiftiness, that kind of a nimble cut back in that tight space, just again, that shows how gifted he is as a player.
It's one thing to have the mass and body, but as being able to use that body correctly is a whole nother level. Yeah,
and he's a really smart guy, and I know, as you would say, he's also a phenomenal teammate.
Yes,
I know
for sure.
We've covered him a lot the last 2 years in these Get broadcasts, and he's a great player, but he's also a great person.
Yes.
This one is given to him again.
And
There's the first touchdown of the season. One from 2 yards out.
First one
touchdowns
on the first game.
Are sponsored by Brian Jacobs State Farm, and the Admirals get the first score of the season on the board.
What a way to start off his senior year by getting his first touchdown of the year.
Yeah, it's great to go ahead and get that first one out of the way.
Get the nerves out of the way.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, Carter Platt on for the PAT.
Second attempt here.
Struck that one really well, it looked like. And that one is good easily. So with 5:16 left in the ball game, Gulfport leads 7-0.
Tonight's game is being brought to you in part by Harborview Oral and Facial Surgery Center, located at 1301 25th Avenue, Suite 3 in Gulfport. Whether you need dental implants, bone grafting, wisdom teeth removal, cosmetic work, or other procedures, Dr. Jansen Rossetti and his staff have you covered. Their cutting-edge technology and personalized recovery plans help you heal right the first time, so you can get back to smiling with confidence. Contact them at 228-867-0121. Again, 228-867-0121. Their office hours are Monday, Thursday from 8 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. and Fridays from 8 a.m. to 12:30 p.m.
All right, and while we're waiting for the kickoff teams to come out, tonight's first quarter is brought to you by Exceed Physical Therapy. We'd like to thank all the sponsors we have. We have a lot more sponsors this year than we did last year, so we're going to we got a lot of them to shout out this year. But yeah, tonight's first quarter is sponsored by Exceed Physical Therapy. All right, teams are back on the field for the kickoff. Carter Platt's going to boot this one away. Again, really gorgeous night here. One thing we haven't mentioned, this is opening night, but it's also the final opening night at Joseph W. Milner Stadium. Yeah. We're anticipating next season heading to a new on-campus stadium. There's a lot of excitement about that. But it will be different leaving a place like this where a lot of people have seen a lot of games throughout the decades.
Yeah, it's very historical, I guess you could say, landmark in the Gulfport community, and especially for Gulfport football. And, you know, going back to hometown, I know it'd definitely be a lot better for travel, and, you know, but it's also one thing to have a football field on your campus too. So,
yeah. And look, I'm a history guy. I love it myself, but it is going to be quite nice having that on-campus stadium. I think it's going to be a real point of pride for our student body. I think that's a big part of the selling point there.
Yes.
While you're talking about that, Carter booted his first kickoff for a touchback, so he's 1 for 1 on that on the year.
Back onto our other topic, you know, we're also adding a lot of other new things, as in getting a natatorium, bowling alley, so that we also have things on campus for our other teams, such as swim and, you know, bowling and stuff like that. So, you know, Gulfport's really building, putting money into our campus.
Absolutely. Picayune's first play is going to go nowhere. That's L.J. Robertson on him again. Handoff went to Xavier Dennis.
Man, this handoff stuff doesn't really seem to be working out for him too well.
Yeah, right now we're playing pretty well. Again, it's a bit of a long game though. You know,
yes.
Can't get too confident right away. You got to understand a big part of it's the physical side, the conditioning side, especially in the first game of the season.
Yes, for sure.
Can we hold up against this run for 4 quarters? You know, when they've run it at us 45, 50 times, are we still going to have the strength to do that? One thing the coach says, they're going to rotate a lot of defensive linemen tonight, try to handle that. Dennis is going to get another pitch outside again. He's got some space, but there's a flag in the backfield. He actually went out of bounds there. Shied away a little bit from the hit from Pierre. That's going to be a hold on Picayune, so that'll bring us back. But as you said, the up-the-middle runs, we've really handled those well so far. But, again, everybody around this program will tell you the front seven is the strength of this team. You got a lot of experience on the defensive line. We're probably 5 or 6 deep at linebacker with guys that we feel comfortable with. So those guys up front, we feel really good about their playmaking ability. And that kind of seems like a favorable matchup for us with a team that's going to run the ball 85-90% of the time.
Yeah, for sure. Seems like they're really playing the waiting game with this one.
They're in 2nd and 20, not a situation Picayune's really built for. They're going to go inside to the fullback. That's Macon Burnett, one of the more experienced players on their offense, getting that ball. And there's Cortell Crandall getting his first tackle of the year. He's a guy, again, kind of like Elijah Frederick, played a lot on special teams last year, had a lot of tackles on punts and kickoffs, didn't get a lot of plays from scrimmage, though. You got those two. You got Cordarius Payton, who's returned our kicks. He's also going to play a little bit both ways. Those are guys who, again, they were heavy special teams reps guys last year, but now being asked to do a little bit more this season. 3rd and long here. Picayune's going to swing it out to the flat. And that is a great tackle there That's DeAndre Williams who held on for the one-on-one tackle.
Also known as Pork Chop.
Pork Chop, yeah. That's Kylan Igana, fullback for Picayune, who made the catch. But that's going to leave us at a 4th and about 4 to go here. Pork Chop. See, that's why we need good student commentators up here. They know things like that.
Yeah, that's a nickname from a long time.
Pork Chop's number 20, DeAndre Williams. He's also a guy in that category. He played a little bit on special teams last year, made some big plays and big moments because we were really good on special teams last year. It's one of the strengths of the team. But again, now he's going to get a lot of reps at linebacker, going to get asked to do a whole lot more this year.
Yeah, I can kind of account for getting asked of a lot more myself.
All right, well, Picayune's going to take a timeout. We got 2:09 left.
All right, during this timeout, we'd like to remind you to take a timeout with Revive and Thrive, located at 1073 Acadian Drive in Gulfport. Come enjoy their saunas, cold plunges, contrast therapy, and rejuvenating salt room, or even shut out the world in their sensory deprivation float suite. With state-of-the-art equipment and over a decade of combined experience in the field, these Gulfport High alumni are ready to tailor their services to empower you to thrive. So whether you're getting ready for your next big event or just wanting to feel rejuvenated in your daily life, contact Revive and Thrive to book an appointment or ask about membership options today.
All right, so as we said, 2:09 left in the first quarter. It's 4th and about 3.5 here. Picayune let the play clock run basically down to 1, and when they called that timeout, I don't know if they were internally debating, go for it, no. We'll see what they got here. Tell you what, they have a really big team out there.
Yes.
They have some monsters up front. All right, well, Gulfport's still got the defense out. Looks like they are going to at least attempt to go for it, or at least fake it. They snap it. Robertson takes it. He gets the handoff, and it looks like he's just going to get across the line. That was Amaji Frederick on the tackle. Kind of a gutsy call there from Picayune, deep in your own territory, first quarter to go for that, but it pays off. So now they've got the ball on the 38.
I guess you could say the higher the risk, the higher the reward.
Yeah, exactly. We'll see, but again, they're just, they're going to take every bit as they can. Robertson pulls that, and he rolls out, and he's got a little bit of an edge there, and he's going to, he took a good shot right there. That was Tyrell Seals with the hit. Really dropped his shoulder. Robertson's going to be feeling that. He may shy away on a future scramble there. Seals gave him a really good shot right there.
Dropped that shoulder, got him.
Absolutely. All right, he picked up about 5 there, so it'll be 2nd and 5 from the 43. Now this one's going to go up the middle to...
And it looks like another first down for Picayune.
Yeah, got a good carry there. Again, Macon Burnett, one of the few really experienced players on their offense, got it. Looked like Cordarius Payton took a late hit there, but no call. So now Picayune's getting the ball right at midfield for 1st and 10. Another handoff there, and that is Dennis again, and that is a great tackle there by Cordarius Payton. One-on-one, not letting him get to the edge. Modest gain of about 2 right there.
Good shot, Madison. And Nate.
One thing about it, with the style that Picayune's playing offensively, and that'll end the first quarter, Gulfport's basically playing a 4 down lineman, 4 linebacker formation on defense. All right, it is the end of the first quarter. We'll step away for a quick second. 7-0 Gulfport.
I moved to Gulfport High School my 10th grade year. I was at another high school freshman year. 10th grade year I was virtual, so I hadn't stepped foot on the campus at all. The teachers, they didn't really even know who I was, but they were very helpful and accommodating anything. It was a hard time for everyone, so they were very helpful. 11th grade year when I finally moved on campus, it was great. Everyone was very supportive of the things I wanted to do. They have a place for everyone to belong, whatever you want to do in life, and it's really great.
And we welcome you back for the second quarter. Tonight's second quarter is brought to you by Edgewater Mall. Just a brief recap. First quarter, Gulfport leads 7-0. Gulfport had right at 99 total yards of offense. Picayune's at 48, but they are driving at the moment. So far, the big play, Javias Hale has had about a 50-yard pickup on the first play of the game from scrimmage. Cooper Crosby broke a few runs. The longest one was 23, and he finished off a drive with a 2-yard touchdown run. All right, we'll start the second quarter here with Picayune has got it. And quick pass out to the wide, and that's going to fall incomplete. It's a good thing Alex Wildy was in coverage there. It looked like he kind of lost track of his receiver, was running away from him there. But no harm, no foul there. And that will bring about a third down for the Maroon Tide, about 8 to go. Now it's third down. Gulfport is, we were just talking about they're kind of playing a 4-4 formation. We shifted back to a more standard one. That's a handoff to the fullback, Macon Burnett, and he's going to expose those gaps in the defense. That's a healthy pickup there. He's going to be down about the 27, 28-yard line. So 22-yard pickup and a first down for the Maroon Tide right there. While they're in the huddle, I'm joined by a new student broadcaster, so why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself for a minute.
My name is Caitlin Medina, and I am a freshman at Gulfport High School.
All right, Caitlin, we're glad to have you on here. All right, first and 10 for Picayune on the 28. And it's going to be another handoff to Dennis up the middle, and he's going to get stuffed pretty quickly. It's L.J. Robertson, Maven Daniel combining on that one. So short gain there, 2nd and 7 coming up. Toss outside to Dennis, and he's got a little bit of a gap there. He ran through and exposed. He's got a shot at the edge. Pierre just can't quite get him in time. That's going to be a touchdown for Picayune. 25-yard touchdown run there for Xavier Dennis. This guy had a little bit of playing time for them last year. He had 340 yards and 6 touchdowns. So a little bit of experience there, but he found a crease, hit it quickly, and exposed that little bit of a gap in the defense there. So Picayune comes out for the PAT to tie it. The kick is low, and it looked like it might have gotten tipped, but it is no good. So with 10:35 left in the second quarter, Gulfport still leads 7-6. Looks like somebody up front might have gotten a bit of a, it was a low kick off the foot, but it looks like one of our guys up front might have gotten a bit of a touch on it.
Gulfport football's big men in the trenches are sponsored by Gulfside Periodontics of Gulfport. When it comes to strong teams, you know the foundation matters. And when it comes to your smile, Gulfside's Periodontics is the MVP. From advanced dental implants and laser gum therapy to expert periodontal care, their team is trusted by families across the Mississippi Gulf Coast, located at 423 Security Square in Gulfport. Gulfside Periodontics uses cutting-edge technology to treat gum disease, restore your smile, and just keep your oral health in companionship form. No pain, no pressure, just precision care. Contact Dr. Thomas Carter and his staff at Gulfside Periodontics today. Visit them at gulfportperiod.com or give them a call at 228-205-4853.
All right, thank you, Caitlin. And teams are back on the field for the kickoff. Gulfport's got Cooper Crosby and Cordarius Payton back to receive. They're actually switching positions. And that one, that kind of read the lineup there. That one's going to pin Cooper down in the corner about the 10-yard line. He's going to try to come back across. Makes several guys miss, but he does get wrapped up. So only going to gain about 2 yards on that return. So Gulfport's going to start deep in their own territory on about the 12.
You can keep up with all things related to Gulfport Admirals athletics by following the Gulfport Athletic Department on Facebook. You can also find each individual's team pages on major social media platforms for game day posts, schedule announcements, scores, and more.
All right, thank you again, Caitlin. All right, the Admiral offense comes back out on the field. Same personnel. You got Hale, Stubbs, and Pollard as the receivers. Nettles and Crosby in the backfield. Cooper Gwynn, tight end spot. That's going to be Pollard motioning across, and it looks like, that's going to be on Picayune. I thought Marlon Stubbs might have flinched in the slot there, but side judge is going to say that flag is on Picayune, so that'll net Gulfport a few yards to help out that starting position. So now 1st and 5 from 17. Motion Pollard across, give it to Crosby, and he's going to get tackled right about the first down marker. Think he got it. Yes, they are saying move the chain. So that is a Horn Custom Jewelry first down for Gulfport. It's the 5th one of the night. That's going to get the ball to around the 23. Motion Pollard again. That one swung out to Hales. Good block from Pollard right there. Springs Hales for a good run there. He's across the 40, fighting through it. Tackled about the 43, 44-yard line. And that'll be another for Horn Custom Jewelry first down for Gulfport. And Javias Hales didn't get to play much last year. Was fighting through an injury most of the season. I think they had some hopes he was going to contribute at the receiver spot, just never really could. He's a couple catches in. He's got 3 catches for 78 yards to start the season. That's a pretty good haul so far. All right, 1st and 10 from the 43. Nell's going to hand that one to Amaje Frederick, who just made a few tackles on the last drive, and he's going to pick up about 4 yards there. One thing you'll see, Frederick, he's going to play both ways. He's going to get some running back reps. Cordarius Payton was in on that play blocking. He also has played some linebacker. Both of those guys are going to play a lot of reps both ways. I actually talked to Cordarius a little bit this morning. He said, I'm doing a little bit of everything tonight. So 2nd and 6 from about the 47. That is Cordarius on the carry, and Cooper Crosby's got a lead block from him. Oh, he's going to get flagged, but that's a really good pickup there for Cordarius. Got across the 40. I think this one's going to come back, unfortunately, though. I think that's Javias Hales, number 4, that's got flagged. He seems to be indicating he was the guilty party out of frustration. So we'll see where they drop us back to. Still be 2nd down. All right, they're going to stop walking at about the 40, so we're looking at 2nd and 13 here. Tight end motions across, but he goes back. They're going to check back. Still got 15 left on the play clock, so no rush here. Gwynn goes back to the right side. It's another rollout for Nettles. He's looking for Hales. And never quite could get the guy he wanted. He's heavily pressured there by Nolan Wilson, number 74, Alabama commit on Picayune's defensive line. Nettles just threw that one away. So 3rd and long, 3rd and 13 to go here. It's really one of the keys of the offense for the offense tonight. Number 74 for Picayune is right there on the bottom side there. Nolan Wilson, best player on their defense, defensive end, celebrated the 4th of July this summer by committing to Alabama. He had 7 forced fumbles and 6 sacks last season as a junior. Really, really good player and definitely stands out with his size. Nels goes for a quick pass here. It's Pollard, and almost had the one-handed catch, just couldn't quite bring it down, so that one's going to fall incomplete, and it'll be punting time. And it'll be Carter Platt out to punt. So, throughout the early stages, they were kind of working out the kicking spot. We had 2 really good specialists last year. Grayson Tegeter on the place kicks, really reliable, consistent guy on the point after. Jesus Cardenas, a punter that was a fan favorite here. Really good punter. So Platt's going to get his first punt here and strikes that one pretty well. It looks like that one's going to roll down to about the 20, and so that's where Picayune will take over with 8:29 left. Score still 7-6 in favor of Gulfport.
There's great things happening every day at Gulfport High School, and you can see them on our school's Facebook page, Gulfport High School Academics Institutes at Gulfport, where you'll find student accomplishments, club activities, and our weekly newsletter, The Admiral Incor. Recent posts you can see there conclude footage from today's neon-themed pep rally. So be sure to follow us and keep up with all that's happening this school year.
All right, thank you, Caitlin. As you're a freshman, so today was first pep rally. How was it?
It was very exciting.
Yeah, we had a really good one today. So be sure to look up. There's some videos I think been put up about it. Maybe get some pictures later. Really good one, neon themed. So it was a lot of fun way to spend the morning. All right, Picayune starts with an outside toss to Dennis, and Trey Peters chases him out of bounds, but he's going to pick up about 4 there, it looks like. I'm going to spot that one about the 23, so it was about 3 picked up. That one's going to go to the fullback, Burnett, and Gulfport does a much better job on that play, stopping him there. The big guys up front. It looks like it was Nick Strickland in on that one, along with Maven Daniel, 2 big guys on the D-line. Good to get a big play from those guys. Those guys are newcomers as well, not a lot of experience from last season, so big to get some early tackles in for them, kind of get the nerves out of the way. All right, 3rd and 4 here for Picayune. They are 2 for 4 on 3rd down so far tonight. Motion a guy across. It's going to be hand up the middle to Xavier Dennis. He's fighting to get to the outside. Cordarius tries to chase him down. Can't quite. Tyrell Seals drops a big hit. There's a flag there at the end. Let's see what that's about. As the officials go to discuss this one. Tyrell Seals made 2 hits tonight. Very hard hitting guy. It looks like that's going to be that's going to be his role in the team. But that flag will go against Gulfport. I think they got Cordarius on the face mask there, kind of holding him up. So that'll add to it. Picayune had a first down on that play as was, so that'll put it across midfield. On to the 49 of Gulfport. Another handoff up the middle to Burnett, but that is a great job of stopping him. Trey P again with a big hit. It's his 4th tackle of the night. Again, Trey Peters last year, well over 100 tackles. He's a Region 4 Defensive Player of the Year, first team All-State in 7A. guy had a lot of accolades and has gotten a lot of attention from junior college teams in his recruitment so far. And the guy needs to have another big year if the Admirals are going to, if we're going to feel good about how the season goes. 2nd and 9 for Picayune as we get the midpoint of the second quarter. Fake the toss. There's going to be a throw. Oh, DeAndre Williams looks like he might have gotten a fingertip just to knock it over the receiver's head. And that will put us at the heat timeout, 6-minute mark. Caitlin, thanks for joining us. All right, and while we have the heat timeout, I'm joined by a new student broadcaster. Why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself?
My name is Alfonso Thornton. I go to Gulfport High School, sophomore. I'm glad to be here.
All right, well, we're glad to have you on as well, Alfonso. Asked Caitlin earlier, right? We had the pep rally this morning. How'd you feel about it today?
It was neon themed, a lot of glow. We played a game called Head, Shoulder, Knees, and Palm.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun to watch.
They played different varieties of music and stuff.
Yeah, when they did the lights out and everybody did the flashlight on the cell phone with really good music, that was a lot of fun. We had students did a really good job of getting into that today. That was awesome. All right, the heat timeout has concluded. And halfway through the second quarter, again, Gulfport leads 7-6. Picayune's got the ball, driving a little bit, just across midfield on the 49. We have a third down and about 9.5 to go. It's going to be a toss out to Dennis. He's got a lot of room to run, man. They did a great job of putting a seal in there, and looks like Pierre Felder is the one who had to come in and make that tackle from behind. So that'll be a first down for Picayune. Those are the plays that really, really frustrate you when you're playing Picayune, but you got to learn to deal. Hey, it's going to happen sometimes. It's highly frustrating to give up a first down on a 3rd and 9 on a run play, but this is a team that's really, really disciplined, really, really good. They know how to run their plays. It's not a big playbook, but they've been executing them a long time, and they do a really good job of it. 1st and 10 on the 31. That one's going to go to Burnett, the fullback, and he's not going to get much. Javon Anderson jumped on him right away. David Daniel looks like he was there to help out, but Javon Anderson, one of the more experienced guys on this defense. He was a first-team all-region selection last year himself, and he makes a big play right there. Hold that to a 1-yard gain. Picayune really taking their time between plays here. I think they're going to try to really wear us down on this drive, run up that time of possession, keep our offense off the field as much as possible. Another handoff to the fullback spot, and that one's going to be a little more successful. We're going to pick up about 5 there, so the ball's on the 25, so we'll have another 3rd and short.
I guess they are trying to hold us off until 3rd so they can try to get another attempt with the ball.
Yep. And that's going to be a timeout from Gulfport. We're going to call timeout to give those guys a rest.
Timeout. Oh, during this time, I would like to remind you to take a timeout with Revive and Thrive, located at 1073
Acadian Drive in Gulfport.
Acadian Drive in Gulfport. Come enjoy their saunas, cold plunges, contrast therapy, and rejuvenating saw room, or even shed out the world in their Senor deprivation.
Sensory deprivation float suite. Yeah.
With state-of-the-art equipment and over a decade combined experience in the field, this Gulfport High alum are ready to tailor their services to empower you to thrive. So whether you're getting ready for your next big event or just wanting to feel rejuvenated in your daily life, contact Revive and Thrive to book an appointment or ask about memberships options today.
All right, thank you, Alfonso. And we're back at it. Third and about 3.5 to go. Picayune's 4 out of 6 on third down so far. Motion guy across, and it looks like he mishandled the snap, just didn't get it off clean, and there's L.J. Robertson there to make the play, capitalize on that mistake. Looked like Colt Robertson, the quarterback, didn't get a clean exchange on the snap from his center. He kind of bobbled it, got stuck in place, and L.J. Robertson shot right through and put him to the ground. So 4th and 4 now. And looks like Picayune's going to leave the offense on the field and go for this. Went for a 4th down earlier in the first quarter. They got it, so this will be their second attempt. Tried a little misdirection play, a little handoff, and then pitch back, and that's going to be very successful for them, and that's going to be into the end zone for the touchdown. There is a late hit, it looks like, on Picayune. We'll see how they adjudicate that one. As Pierre Felder was on the receiving end of that late hit.
There was a lot of pushing and shoving.
Yeah, there was a lot there. There was, offensive lineman engages on a safety. They're going to get really excited and really try to get that guy driven to the ground and, put a stat on their register, but might have gotten a little too carried away there. We'll see how they assess this, though. It's going to be after the play or during the play. I think we're going to – looks like it's Coach Pink's going to come out and get an explanation, so we'll see – see how this gets decided here.
Big 72. Right. That's what I'm talking about.
All right. Okay, so as I understand, that's an after the play call, so the touchdown will stand, and it'll be enforced on the kickoff, so Picayune takes the lead. They line up for their second PAT. Missed the first one. We'll see. That one got off a lot cleaner, and it is good. So with 3:40 to go in the second quarter, Picayune leads 13-7.
You can follow WGTV broadcasting on Facebook for links to live streamed events and episodes of Admiral Ocean, the school's weekly news program. Today's episode was the first one of season 7 featured stories on our AP government classes, creative senior parking spots, our upcoming blood drive, and several staff members offered their 20 years perspectives on Hurricane Katrina.
Yeah, that was a great segment at the end about, again, today marks, really this morning marked the 20th anniversary of Hurricane Katrina, which in some ways feels like a really long time ago. In some ways it feels like it was a couple weeks ago. It was kind of interesting, driving over here today, this evening, came down Courthouse, came across Highway 90 all the way here on the way to Milner, and that drive along the beachfront was a lot of reflecting there on our drive over here. Talked about that with a few other people this afternoon, making that drive on Highway 90, reflecting on where our beloved hometown was 20 years ago and where we've come from since. All right, again, 3:40 to go before halftime. Picayune to kick off to Gulfport. And they're backed up on that kickoff, so should get decent field position out of this. They're going to kick it to Crosby. He's going to field it about the 22. A little more success getting off there. Breaks away from a tackle there. Breaks another tackle. And that's a good return. Again, he's the guy that's going to fight for those tough yards. He gets us to about the 38. And that's where the offense will set up for our next possession.
Next week will be off, so Next week we'll be off, so our next football game is in 2 weeks at Laurel on September the 12th. Laurel is opening their season tonight at West Jones and will host Hattiesburg next week. It will be the first time playing. It will be the first time Gulfport has played Laurel since 2000s.
All right, Nettles takes a snap, fires a quick one to Hills, and it looks like that's going to be another first down. That's going to be close. Hills fought through it, got out of bounds, and let's see. No, they're going to say he's just a bit short. So it'll be second and about one, maybe half a yard there. Looks like Nettles and Crosby weren't on the same page there. Looks like he was trying to hand off. They got twisted up, so that's going to be a loss of a yard. Unfortunate break there. So now it'll be about 3rd and 2.
Another thing about Katrina this morning, Dr. Gibson started our day with a moment of silence in honor of the 20-year memorial of Katrina.
Yeah, we did. It was great. We started the day this morning at school. Dr. Gibson called for a moment of silence. The kids were really great about observing it, respecting it, even though, crazy enough, none of our kids were alive for it. Cooper Crosby is broken wide open on that handoff. They're on the same page that time. 56 yards to the house, and that's his second touchdown of the season and on the night. Big play right there to get us back. It happened last year. Last year's game at Picayune, probably the best all-around game we've played in a very long time. And we had a few moments like that. We had a play where it just wasn't quite right. We had a drop pass, a mishandled snap, something we weren't quite in sync. And then the next play we bounced back and have one of the best plays of the night. That happened again right there. Carter Platt on for the PAT. Low snap. Caleb McDonald picked it up, though. Got it clean. Carter puts it through the uprights. So with 2:42 before the half, Gulfport has retaken the lead 14-13.
GHS 9th grade football team won their first game of the season, 41-8, over Biloxi on Monday. They play at Picayune on Tuesday next week.
All right, so quick stat update. After that run, Cooper Crosby's at 95 yards. Last year against Picayune, again, as I said, probably the best all-around game Gulfport's played in a really long time. We had 411 on the ground as a team. Cooper had 244 and 3 scores. So Picayune's going to be glad when he's not around having to tackle him anymore. He's had a lot of success against them these 2 games. Carter Platt on for the kickoff again tonight. Got a little bit of a wind at his back coming off of the beachfront. He's going to dribble that one along. Picayune mishandles it. There's going to be a scramble for that. Looks like Picayune's up back did fall on it, though. A little bit of a sneaky one there, and there is a flag. It looks like one of our guys up top might have gotten a little too eager to get across the 40-yard line on the contact of that ball. So it probably wouldn't have stood anyways, so we'll let the referees sort this one out before we get this next possession started. No, they're going to wave it off. So Picayune's going to start with the ball on their own 43. Again, 2:35 left. Picayune's got 2 timeouts remaining. Gulfport's got 2 as well.
Hey, Coach, How did you feel about the pep rally?
I thought it was a really good one. You know, I will have to admit, I have to give you students credit. Y'all have done a really good job with them. Y'all do a great job of getting into it. So I find it a lot of fun to watch. Picayune comes out throwing, and that's going to sail a good bit over his intended receiver's head. That was Darius Fortenberry, the intended receiver. Picayune come out, try to catch us, maybe a little unprepared first play of the drive, fake the toss, try to get us beat deep, but it's going to fall incomplete. That was Tyrell Seals in coverage there, stuck with his man the whole way. So it'll be 2nd and 10. Barely got that one off before the play clock ran out, but it doesn't matter. It's a pitch outside, and there's Javon Anderson made the wrap up really quickly in the backfield, maybe a half a yard loss there. And that's going to bring up 3rd and 10. Picayune 4-7 on 3rd downs so far tonight. Admiral defense last year really good on 3rd downs, 31%. They held opponents to. Really became a good 3rd down team last year. Picayune's a really tough team, though, with the way they wear you down and get you in the misdirection. Dennis got the pitch and fumbled it. He's going to fall on that harmlessly, but that's going to be a big loss. Gulfport's going to take a timeout to save the clock a little bit there. We'll have one remaining. But that could have been a crisis there for Picayune. Dennis got the pitch, dropped it, so it's going to be 4th and half a mile. They'll look to punt with 1:39 left. Gulfport stops the clock there.
During this time, I would like to remind you to take a timeout with Revive and Thrive, located at 103 Advocate Drive in Gulfport. Come enjoy their saunas, cold plunges, contrast therapy, and rejuvenating salt room, or even shut out the world in their Sonora decoration float suite with state-of-the-art equipment and over the decade of Caban experience in the field. This Gulfport alone are ready to trail their services to empower you to thrive. So whether you're getting ready for your next big event or just wanting to feel rejuvenated in your daily life, contract Revive and Thrive to book an appointment or ask about membership options today.
All right, Picayune back out to punt. Cordarius Payton back there to receive. Punter, oh, look, snap was a little bit off target. Picayune's punter had to chase it down a little bit. It looks like that was DeAndre Williams, a.k.a. Porkchop, making the play to wrap him up. That is a massive play right there. Gulfport's going to have a short field, 1:33 left on the clock, one timeout, plenty to go right there.
All right, so it's our ball. So we're going to the right.
So Gulfport's going to start this one out on the 20, so that's another trip to the Citizens Bank red zone for us. Courtesy of a good defensive play right there on that series, and a few mistakes on Picayune's part. 1:33 to go. Admirals lead by 1 here in the 2025 season opener. 10 on the play clock. Camden Morgan motions across. Nels takes a snap. Finds Hales. Great block there from Morgan. He crushed the guy as he was still in motion. Hales is going to fight through that tackle, and he's down to about the 13. Good pickup to start that possession.
Somebody's injured.
Looks like Picayune's got an injured player. I think that was the guy who caught that block. Looks like that is
Number 4.
he took a pretty good shot there. That was an interesting play design there. Gulfport motions Camden Morgan across. He was on a full sprint, timed it perfectly. Right as Hales is catching the ball, Morgan is still in full stride, clears out the defensive back. He got a really solid shot on him right there.
Middle school football started the season with 2 wins over St. Martin last night. 7th graders won 38-0, and 8th graders won 26-6. Their next game is in 2 weeks at home against Biloxi on September the 11th.
All right. Picayune's Finners being helped off. So, again, it's going to be 2nd and 3 with 1:17 to go before the break. When we do get to halftime, we are going to have performances from both bands. Picayune's will play first. Gulfport will be second. Gulfport's show this year themed I Want My MTV, music from the 1980s, which I know excites a lot of people. All right, Crosby gets the handoff here on 2nd and 3, fighting through it. He's going to be right about the marker when he got tackled. We'll see if they do. They'll probably drop the change, and they will. So it'll be first down, Horn Custom Jewelry first down for Gulfport. So we'll have 1st and goal from just inside the 10. That one's going to fall incomplete. It went quick. Admirals went quick, trying to catch Picayune napping there a little bit. Hills was the target, just couldn't quite connect there. So 2nd and goal now. Down to 50 on the game clock here. Nels is going to hand that one off to Crosby. Cuts back into the middle. He's into the swarm, fighting through. Looks like he's going to be stopped at about the 7-8 yard line there. So it'll be 3rd and goal, and Gulfport's going to go ahead and spend their final timeout of the half. While we're in that break, again, we would thank our timeout sponsor, Revive and Thrive, on Acadian Drive in Gulfport, run by some Gulfport alums. All right, so Afonso, we've got 42 seconds left in the half. How do you feel about how Gulfport's been playing so far?
I feel that they have been playing hard. They've been moving the ball around. Defense been finding the ball, getting to the ball.
Yeah, they have done a good job of swarming to the ball. Got caught up in the misdirection a few plays, but we've recovered really quickly. We also made some really good big plays, getting those tackles for losses, because a team like Picayune, where they're going to run the ball a ton, they're not going to pass it a lot. They don't want to be behind the chains. They don't want more than 10 yards to have to pick up. So if we can get them at a 2nd and 12, 3rd and 12, situations like that, we really take them out of their game. So making those big plays sometimes really pays off when you gamble for it. All right, 3rd and goal from the 7. Hales motions across. Nettles fakes it to Crosby, tries to slant, and that is a touchdown. That's Cooper Gwynn, the tight end. Touchdown sponsored by Braden Jacobs State Farm. Nettles fired a missile right there, and Gwynn snatched it. That's his first career touchdown. Guy didn't get to play a lot last year. Came in to be an extra blocker a few times here and there, but this year he's been kind of put in that role. You're the tight end. You're our guy. It's going to be on the field most of the time. Great to see him get a good catch. Platt's PAT is away, and it is good.
That was a good kick right there.
Yeah, so with 41 seconds before the break, Gulfport leads now 21-13.
Hey, Coach.
Yeah.
How do you feel about the game so far?
I feel like we've got to be really, really pleased with it so far. The things that we deemed question marks, with our team coming in, the offensive line has really held up well. I mean, we're facing 2 Division I caliber defensive linemen on Picayune side, and we've, apart from a play or two, we've really not let them, make a big show of it. Defensively, really the answer for how we do defensively shows up in the fourth quarter. Right now we're making plays, but a team like Picayune, again, they're going to try to grind us down, wear us down, get us tired, especially the first game of the season when you're maybe still getting into that midseason form and getting into that good football shape. how do we hold up? I think it's a little – we're not going to know the answer for how the defense has played yet until we get to that fourth quarter and we see are we still stand strong against them. But I think you have to feel really good about the offense right now. We had a couple plays where we were out of sync there, but Cooper's going to run it really strong. You know that's going to happen. The big thing, we had some guys make some big catches right there. Javius Hills had a really good first game of varsity action. Cooper Gwynn right there, the tight end, number 88. First time a ball got fired to him, he made it look easy. So I feel like we got to be pretty pleased so far with this half. But, again, team like Picayune, it's going to be a four-quarter game. So be hard to tell exactly, how do we grade the defense. We're going to have to wait till the fourth quarter clock hits triple zeros. Platt on for the kickoff. Looks like he's going to take a shorter approach here, and he does, kind of chips it to the sideline about the 35. Picayune touches it. Wow, that looked like he was going to go out of bounds.
I wonder why he didn't just let it go out of bounds.
Yeah, it was Jamari Hathorne. Sometimes when that ball's coming to you, you just gotta get your hands on it. It was Jayon Pollard came in and dropped a shoulder on him to push him out of bounds. So 41 seconds to go. Picayune has 2 timeouts, but they've got the ball on their own 33, so we'll see what their approach to that is. So far, Picayune's offense picked up 133 yards on the ground, 123. That's going to get him a good bit more there. Handoff up the middle to the guy that just touched that kickoff. Jamari Hathorne. Cordarius Payton tackles him from behind, but that is going to be a first down for Picayune.
I see they're mostly running the ball instead of throwing it, because the first throw they did was kind of overthrown.
Yeah, it's like you said, it can be very frustrating playing against a team like this, because you sit there and think, oh, they're just running every play. Let's just send everybody down. But they do a really good job with the way they block. They kind of hide their backs in the backfield. They get them crossing paths, and you can get caught up in the wrong direction really quickly, and it can be hard to reverse field fast enough when you have a team, because they have a lot of speed as well. Their backs are pretty fast. So it may seem simple, and it is a very simple offense that they run, but it doesn't mean it's easy to defend by any means. All right, so again, 34 seconds left in this first half. Picayune took a timeout there. They have 1 remaining. Again, timeout sponsored by Revive and Thrive in Gulfport. I think the big thing for our defense here, we don't want to give up the big play. Don't give up the big 30, 40-yard pickup here and give them a chance to really set up something. Handoff is back to Hawthorne, and it's going to get a modest pickup. That was L.J. Robertson tackling him there. And he picked up about 4 or 5 right there. And that last timeout's going to get taken, so teams will discuss it just across midfield.
I see that our offense are, thinking, switching up plays. They're throwing it a little bit, sometimes run. They just trying to move the ball around more.
Yeah, and as you mentioned, we've run 22 plays on offense, 12 passes, 10 runs, so a pretty even mix. We've got 108 yards passing, 103 yards rushing. I mean, we're very balanced tonight. And, sometimes, balance for the sake of balance isn't necessarily good. Like last year when we played Picayune, we ran for 411. When you can run for 411 in a game, you just keep running it. I mean, you take what they give you. But, most nights you do. It is an advantage a little bit to have a bit of a balance so teams don't key in on one thing at a time. So. All right, Picayune's got 2nd and 5 from the Gulfport 48. 26 seconds left in the half. This is going to be a quick pass out, and that is going to be a first down. That'll stop the clock as he gets out of bounds. That was Alex Wildy in coverage there, forcing him out. So first down, that'll be about the 40. And we got 21 seconds left. Clock did stop as he went out of bounds, though. All right, man in motion. Looks like Robertson kind of mishandled that snap, but he got it back. That throw is going to be a bit out of reach of Fortenberry there. That was Jalen Lewis in coverage from the corner spot. Pierre Felder slid over from that deep safety position there to add some support. So 2nd and 10, down to 15 seconds left in the half. Really good crowd here tonight, opening night. Just looking out, a lot of people here. Really good opening crowd, although it's been fantastic weather. Really been a great week for weather. Temperatures dropping a little bit, starting to cool off some. Great night for opening football season 2025. Robertson fakes the pitch, passes it out there. Pierre, just a little bit over Pierre's head, but that's going to fall incomplete again. So now 3rd and 10.
Hey, Coach.
Yeah.
You remember you was talking about the weather?
Mm-hmm.
It won't stay that way for that long. Unfortunately. I wish, though.
Yeah, it would be great if it was like this every day. As we can say down here in southern Mississippi, we have summer about 8 months a year. But I can tell you, we're appreciating what we have today. It's been not too hot today. It was nice when we got to the broadcast booth this evening. The sun wasn't totally beating in on it. All right, Picayune snapped that one quick when they got to the line. They toss it outside. That's Dennis with the ball, and he's not going to go anywhere. Adderall swarmed to him. Samuel Barnes gets in on that tackle. Looks like Nick Strickland was in there as well to help him out. Javon Anderson getting pulled off the ground. That's the final play of the half. So Picayune can't quite pick up anything there. And as we go to the break, Gulfport leads 21-13 on this opening night. So, again, stay tuned for band performances. But thanks for joining us, Afonso. Again, halftime 21-13, and we'll be back shortly.
The Maroon marching band. Directors of the band are John Crocker, Colton Powell, Brandon Hutchinson, DJ Carpenter, Lacey Seal, Patricia Milton, David Kersey, Cheryl Espino, and Kevin Whitlow. Picayune Memorial High School principal is Chrissy Mitchell, and assistant principals are Tony Tucci and Adam Feely. Assistant superintendent is Walt Esslinger. Superintendent is Dean Shaw. Tonight, the band will perform a portion of their concert show titled The Castaways. Following the performance will be our Pride of the Child dance team and their tradition kick routine. Maroon and Gray Memorial March under the direction of Dr. Kelly Bowler, Abby Montgomery, and Tabitha Starling. The band is under the direction of drum majors Sam Mean and Caden Cecil. Drum majors, is your band ready? Maroon Tide Marching Band. The section of the week is drumline. Captains are Josh Treadway and Ayana Martin.
Ladies and gentlemen, for your halftime entertainment, the Gulfport School District proudly presents the Gulfport High School Admiral Marching Band. Presenting their 2025 halftime show, I Want My MTV. Selections to include I Want My MTV by Dire Straits and the MTV theme. Soloist tonight is Ash Austin. Drum majors are Sean Brown and Jaden Beverly. Drum majors, is your band ready? Band, the field is yours. Ladies and gentlemen, the Gulfport High School Admiral Marching Band. The band is under the direction of Wes Moorhead, Diddy Pitts, Jacob Coon, Blake Norrie, Adam Tackett, Zach Rose, Leah Tackett, and Kyle Williams. Additional staff include Jasmine Ball, Abigail Henshaw, David Kersey, Dwight Hollingsworth, Tyler Hollingsworth, Kate McFall, and Jaden Jones. The band would like to thank the Admiral Band Boosters and the Gulfport School District for their continued support, as well as Domino's Pizza for feeding the band tonight.
And we welcome you back. Just a few minutes left before we start the second half of play. And with me here tonight, the next in our student broadcasters, Gulfport High School senior Lala Lee. Lala is going to start us off with our halftime stats.
At halftime, the score is 21-13 in favor of Gulfport. Here's a look at the stats so far. For Gulfport's offense, they have 211 total yards and 8 first downs. Quarterback Parker Nettles is 8 for 12, passing for 108 yards and 1 touchdown. On the ground, Gulfport is led by Cooper Crosby, who has 100 yards on 8 carries with 2 touchdowns. The receiving tonight has been led by Javius Hales, who has 5 catches for 91 yards. Cooper Gwynn had an 8-yard touchdown catch also. The Admirals are 2 for 4 on the third down and 2 for 2 in the red zone. Kicker Carter Platt is 3 for 3 on extra point, 0 for 1 on the field goals. As for Picayune, they have 200 total yards and 9 first downs. Passing, they are 3 for 8 for 18 yards, and they have run for 182 yards on 29 carries. They are 4 for 9 on third downs. Gulfport's defense is led by L.J. Robertson, who has 5 tackles.
All right, thank you for that report, Lala. Again, 21-13. Gulfport played a really good first half there. I think everybody here is going to be pretty satisfied with how they are, but second half, where the games are won and lost, so we're going to have to finish strong here. So, Lala, while we got a little bit of time left before we resume play, Picayune's just now coming out of the locker room. You and Tavion, who was with us in the first quarter, you're both part of a group called Student Athlete Leadership Team, or SALT.
Yes.
So, can you tell us a little bit, tell the people viewing us tonight, talk a little bit about what y'all do on SALT.
Basically, it's led by our athletic director, Coach Walters. And we meet sometimes we'll meet on Fridays, like twice a month or once a month. And we're just trying to get our student section to be not like having to trash others just to like win a game and get hype and stuff. He wants us to all like build a community based off of like just like liking to like he wants other student sections to want to come to ours and have a good time, and we've been trying to do that for the past few months.
Yeah, it was positive energy, and
Yes.
Last night we had the volleyball game against Biloxi.
Yes.
I was there working it, and I saw y'all had a great showing
Yes.
last night. Had
We
kind of a
did.
rock and roll. Y'all have a dress theme.
We do.
For every
Yes.
home event.
Yes, we do.
Last night was rock and roll
Rock and
theme.
roll.
Everybody had their rock band shirts on and everything, and that was awesome. But like you said, it's building positive energy. It's not
Yes.
about attacking other teams, trashing them, making nasty remarks about them on social media.
Yeah.
It's you'll have a lot of fun with it. You'll have a lot of fun with the social media stuff. For anybody that follows the Admiral Nation account,
Yes.
I know y'all did some. You and Ava Benefield,
Yes, and
Sydney Allen did
we
some
all-
interviews with players, asked them about their game day
Yes, we did.
superstitions. That was a lot of fun to watch this afternoon.
It was.
I'm sure it was a lot of fun to do those
It was
interviews.
fun.
But like you said, it's we want good student support. We want good student section, building spirit, building community. One thing we discussed in the first half, we had Caitlin up here earlier. She's a freshman. Today was her first pep rally. Asked her what she thought. She's like, "Wow, this is really good."
Definitely loud
And so, I
fun.
mean, and that's one thing I've talked to friends of mine who are my age, went to Gulfport High with me, closing in on 15 years ago now since we were there. I have to give it to y'all. Y'all do a really good job with the pep rallies. I mean, it's
we've tried.
it's very fun to watch.
It's fun to to be in. It really is. I love them.
Yeah, and today we had a
gets
neon
everyone
theme.
hyped.
Again, you can see
Yes.
footage of that, images from that on our school's Facebook page. Just search Gulfport High School – Academic Institutes at Gulfport. Do you have any favorite part about being a student at Gulfport, student athlete at Gulfport? Anything that really stands out to you?
I like how I love our band. Our band, that's it. I love our band. They are so excited for each other. They're so hyped. I love them. And I don't know, all of our sports, I feel like we're always having fun. It's always fun out there. I love being around.
Yeah, and it's a great point you make. Whatever it is, the band kids we have here, all of our athletes, it's one thing I strongly believe in. During your high school years, you need to find some sort of borderline obsessive hobby and learn to give a lot of effort to it. Learn to really pour yourself into pursuing excellence in something that you enjoy, and that's what high school activities, sports, music, theater, all those programs, that's what it's all about. It's learning work ethic, teamwork, discipline, but also finding enjoyment in those things. And it's awesome as a staff member at the school to see so many different things that students get into and hearing about all those things that a lot of people maybe don't know about.
Yeah. Whenever I was on the soccer team last year, we did a neighborhood run with basketball, and I've never seen a group of guys that was so excited to be running out in like 100-degree weather. They were so happy. If one of us was falling behind, they were like, "Get up, come on, let's go," and they just had the biggest smile on their faces. They were hyping everybody up. You can tell they love being like around each other. They love the sport that they're in. They love doing it.
And that's a big part of what y'all are trying to build with the
it
SALT, the Student Athlete Leadership Team, trying to build a sense of community between our teams. So with that, we are back for the second half. Carter Platt is going to kick us off, and he hits that one really solid. A little bit low. Going to be caught about the 6. It's going to be a pretty good return for Picayune. And he's breaking away. That's Fortenberry, guy who's had a few passes thrown his way. And he's going to get down to about the 47. Looks like that was Jayon Pollard there on the tackle. So Picayune is going to have good field position to start us off. So now you've been down in the student section for the first half of the game. So what's the atmosphere like down there for the opener?
Well, one of them decided whenever we got a touchdown, they were going to spray the fire extinguisher, and it did not feel very good. It got all in my mouth and all in our eyes, but it's been fun. Sam is on the push-up board doing push-ups.
Sam Tyndall?
Yes, Sam Tyndall. Yep. He had to do like 21, and it was.
Yeah, we could possibly end up scoring a lot tonight. He's going to be sore. Yeah. He's going to be sore tomorrow if that continues.
Definitely.
Handoff goes to Dennis, and he's going to get to the outside. That was Trey Peters, makes a tackle deep, but it's going to be a first down for Picayune to get us started on the first play from scrimmage this half. And Trey P's kind of limping off. It looks like he got hurt, got shaken up a little bit on that one, but hopefully he's not off for too much. Maja Frederick's going to come in to take his spot. All right, 1st and 10 for Picayune on the 44. They're going to check back. 10 seconds to go on the play clock, so they got a little bit of time. Robertson gets the play once, toss it out to Dennis. Breaks through a few tackles. Looks like L.J. Robertson caught him from behind there. And we've got another stoppage in play. Looks like I think that's Cordarius Payton. Looks a little shaken up. He's limping a little bit, but he's trying to walk it off. Doesn't look like it's too bad, but they stopped the play for it, so he's going to have to come off for one.
We're not moving backwards, so that's what it looks like. They're moving backwards.
Yeah, he didn't seem. Looks like he might be cramping, holding the back of his leg there, but he still didn't want to come out. 31 Jalen Lewis comes in for him. All right, 2nd and about 5 or 6 here to go. And it's a fumble right there. We'll see. Looks like Picayune fell back on it. Another little more trouble there. Robertson, Picayune's quarterback, not getting necessarily a clean handoff on the snap there. Just can't quite get that exchange down right, so they lose a yard there. 3rd and about 7. It's going to be a toss out to Dennis. He's not quite getting the hole he developed. He's going to be met by a swarm of Admirals. Looks like Jamarian Davis got in on that one. So not much to pick up. About 4th and 5. We'll see if they decide to go for it here, given they are in positive territory. They really aggressively went for a 4th down earlier in the game on their own side of the 50. All right, and they will go for it. Nick Strickland had to kind of hobble off, get off in time. A little misdirection there, kind of a counter on the pitch, and looks like Xavier Dennis is going to get that 1st down. Looks like he's tracked down by Cortel Crandall there. So just barely picking up the 1st down. That's another 4th down conversion for Picayune. So they are starting to put together a bit of a drive here. Ball now to the 33. More motion across. They're going to go to the fullback. It's making Burnett right there, and he's going to pick up about 2. L.J. Robertson, another big stop right there up the middle. He's really snuffed out a lot of those. They sprung a few of those fullback plays early on, but L.J.'s really kind of shut that one down. All right, 2nd and 7 on the 30. And that should be on Picayune, right? I think so. Yes, that'll be a false start, so that'll put him back to about 2nd and 12. Tight end just got a little too antsy, jumped forward a bit, so that'll back him up some.
That's a false start. If it had been us, it would have been offside. We would be back.
That's Picayune's 5th penalty of the night. Gulfport's only had 2 so far. You're going to try the fullback handoff again. He's got a little more success on this one. He's going to be about 2 yards short of the marker, down to the 25. It was Davis and Payton on the tackle there. I was going to do a little bit of substitution. You're going to bring in we're starting to rotate those defensive linemen a lot. That was something that we were told was going to happen. So I just saw Dylan Davis, a guy who's played a lot of offense. He's kind of practiced a lot of offensive line. And his list is one. He just came off. Jeremiah Leitner comes in, number 71 there. So we're trying to get some fresh bodies, trying to keep everybody in shape for the 4th quarter. Toss outside there to Hathorn, and he's going to pick up that 1st down. Didn't have too much to go for right there, but he's going to get it. And Picayune is now inside the red zone for the first time tonight.
Hey, did you move back towards the field after the band? Or are you still in the same spot that you moved out of the way from? Army. Are you still in the same spot? Did you move back? Or are you still where you moved to?
You're going to try that inside trap again, and it's a big hit from Cordarius Payton, but decent pickup, just short of the marker, it looks like. So it'll be about 2nd and 1. Admiral defense last year in the red zone held opponents only scoring on 69% of their possessions in the red zone. Pretty good mark there. They actually gave him a pretty favorable spot. So he's inside the 10, 1st and goal now. All right, and this will be a toss and mishandled there by. Ooh. That was Hathorn and mishandled it, just couldn't quite get it, but he fell back on the ball. Javon Anderson shot through pretty quickly. Nick Strickland in on that play. And again, that defensive line rotation's coming through. L.J. Robertson back out. Looks like Sam Barnes is in there now. 2nd and goal from the 12 now. It's one of those things, first game of the season, you're going to have a few missteps, not quite in midseason form. We've done it too. Inside trap again, and that's not going anywhere. It looks like that was Maven Daniel who pops up, made that tackle there, so it'll be 3rd and goal from the 10.
I was talking to Javon Anderson in class.
And looks like Picayune's got a hurt player over there on the side. I don't know if it's a cramp or what. I didn't see anything that maybe didn't see anybody really take a good shot there. So we'll have a brief break for injury.
GHS Lady Admiral Volleyball went unbeaten this week with sweeps over West Harrison and Biloxi. They're now 11-8 on the year and 3-2 in division play. They play at D'Iberville next Tuesday and will host a tournament at Burt Jenkins Gymnasium Friday and Saturday.
Yeah, and we were talking about that during halftime, that game last night against Biloxi. It was really exciting, very close. First set we won fairly easily, but the second set actually went
Kept us on
past
our
the normal
toes.
score. It was 27-25 if I remember right, and then the third set was really close.
It was
Very
like
intense
22.
game.
Yeah, I was stressed out a little bit over there, I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, and and Biloxi brought a lot of people. They had a
yes,
big student section they brought with us. It was very loud.
Yes, it was.
Sitting there keeping the book for that. It was extremely loud, court level.
It was.
But we battled through. Not our best night on the court. Struggled a little bit serving, but we had a few really bright moments. One in particular, you may remember that play. Biloxi hit one, just kind of floated over the net, and Zaria Mitchell came out of nowhere and hit a rocket right down the middle.
She's a beast.
And that kind of sparked us, right? Like that kind of sparked us. We weren't playing so well. She came out. I mean, she hit an absolute missile.
Once our student section gets hype about one thing, I feel like it just makes the girls play like.
Yeah, and that one really that play, she hit that ball loud, and it really lifted up the crowd there that last night and helped us kind of come back from a spot where we weren't playing so well. All right, back to it. Just under 5 minutes to go in the third. Picayune's been driving this entire time this quarter. 3rd and goal from the 10. You're going to fake a few, and it's a pass, but it is a little bit too high. He's going to fall incomplete. Terrell Seals was in coverage there.
I think he has a cramp.
Good job of staying with his man, not letting him get behind him. And Picayune's receiver there, it's Ontario Wilkins, came up a little bit. Gimp there, like he landed a little bit wrong trying to stretch out to catch that pass. So we're going to have another break while we're at it.
GHS Cross Country has their next meet tomorrow morning in Jones Park for the Port City Classic. So far, they've had 2 successful meets, and the first one in Flowood, sophomore Hannah Azell got her first ever top 10 finish, and last week in Pass Christian, they were led by senior Ava Benefield, who got her 10th all-time top 10 finish.
All right, so, we like to use these breaks to catch everybody up on other ongoings in our athletic department. We have a lot of really good teams, a lot of really great athletes we want to make sure everybody knows about. And again, that's a big part of what you're talking about with SALT and, what we're trying to do. Again, especially as, Tavion and I were talking in the first quarter about, this is expected to be the final season at Milner Stadium here as we look toward an on-campus stadium. But we have more than that. We're looking forward to other on-campus facilities for other sports and other activities. We want to, it's not just focus on one thing. Let's try to have the best experience for as many people as possible.
Not just a few sports.
Yeah, and I still want to say new construction at the school. The school campus now, it's about 8 years old, so it's not really new anymore. But it's built for a lot of things for a lot of people. Picayune attempting the field goal from 27 yards out, and it is good. So with 4:23 left to go in the third quarter, Gulfport still leads 21-16. It was a long drive from Picayune. Took about 7.5 minutes off of the clock. So, again, as we've been kind of hinting at, the frustration in playing a team with Picayune style, they're going to possess the ball a lot. They're going to have a lot of run plays. They've had 40 running plays so far at us. That's a lot of reps for our defense, especially first game of the season. You look at Javon Anderson, he's pretty visibly frustrated. He looks a little worn down right now. We're trying to rotate defensive linemen in, keep them fresh as much as possible. But against a team like Picayune, it can be just flat out kind of hard to do that.
Yeah.
So.
I know he talked about how good he was very confident in their defense today in class. He was telling me, he was like, I have a lot of confidence in our defense. And I was like, all right. It's good to hear.
Well, that is good to hear. I know, we mentioned that video y'all did for the Admiral Nation account.
They said they're
you
not
asked
getting
for
any
score predictions, and
zeros.
they all had very
around.
optimistic looks
Yes.
for this game. I know they said they weren't allowing any scores. Picayune's got a few on them, but I do think the defense held pretty good. I mean, Picayune, again, this is
tough.
This is a very good football program at Picayune. For those who don't know, this is one of the most consistent teams in the state. They've made their classification South State Championship game 4 years in a row, won it all in 21 and 22. This is a really good football program that seems to reload every year. Cooper Crosby gets the kickoff again, and he's going to get across the 20 and break through. And looks like we'll be starting this next possession, our first one of the second half, at around our own 23-yard line.
Tonight's game is being brought to you. Tonight's game is being brought to you in part by Harborview Oral and Facial Surgery Center located at 1301 25th Avenue, Suite 3 in Gulfport. Whether you need your dentist implants, bone grafting, wisdom teeth removal, cosmetic work, or other procedures, Dr. Jason Rossetti and his staff have you covered. Their cutting-edge technology and personalized recovery plans help you heal right the first time so you can get back smiling with confidence. Contact them at 228-867-0121. Their office hours are Monday through Thursday, 8 a.m. through 4:30 p.m. and Fridays from 8 o'clock to 12:30.
All right, and Gulfport started off that first drive of the second half with a run to Cooper. He's going to pick up about 7 there. And there's another injury timeout for a Picayune defensive lineman there, but they actually got a good spot, so he's going to be
looks like another
close to about 1 yard
ramp
to go. While we have the injury timeout, again, just for viewers that maybe don't know as much about what goes on at Gulfport High School, talk about some of the classes you're in. Especially now you're a senior, you're in some of those the classes more oriented towards future job opportunities, things like that. Talk about what you're in.
So I'm in business, marketing, and finance, and my mom is the teacher, and I know she's listening. So it's fun. It's very hands-on. Every single thing, like in the CTE classes, most of it is hands-on. Like whenever we go in the store, which we have a store at Gulfport High School. If you don't know, you can come shop, and there's a bunch of new stuff in there. And
it's designed by y'all, right?
Yeah, it's designed by the students, and we work in there, and we learn how to do everything customer service. It's a really good learning experience. It's good for whenever you graduate and you go out into the real world, and you kind of need to know that. That's stuff that not a lot of schools offer, and the fact that we do is I think it's really good.
Yeah, it's some really awesome programs. You talked about the business class where you learn to operate a store, do inventory, customer service, managing things like that. We also have a culinary program. We have a law and public safety class that does a lot of collaboration with the local fire and police departments. We have medical tech classes. We mentioned the Admiral Ocean episode, talked about a blood drive they're doing coming up. We've got a lot of really cool opportunities, auto mechanics, engineering class, construction building. All right, there's a lot of really cool opportunities for students at Gulfport High School. So for those that are watching, you maybe don't know all the insides of, the ins and outs of what goes on at the school day by day now. It's a lot of really cool opportunities
really
for all of
is.
our kids, and it makes it really enjoyable now, right?
Yeah, I feel like, because, like, whenever I go to college, I feel like I'm just going to know, like my mom told me that my sister the other day had the 4 Ps in her class, which is business related, and she had in her business class, and she knew them. So I was like, there goes your class paying off in college.
There you go. All right, back to action. Nettles going to hand this one off to Crosby. He's met right at the point of the handoff by several Picayune defenders, so not much going there. Okay. Down marker said 4th down for a second. I think they skipped one during that injury timeout. It is 3rd, though. They've got it fixed now. So 3rd and about 2. Motion both tight ends, Gwynn and Jaquaylin Peters, the number 40 in. Cooper gets the handoff right behind that pair of tight ends, and he's going to fight through to the 40-yard line. That's a Horn Custom Jewelry first down for Gulfport. But there is a flag on the play. This is right behind where those tight ends were blocking, so it'll be a hold against Gulfport, and we'll have to reset and try it again. It's the first time tonight we've seen the 2 tight end set there where number 40, Jaquaylin Peters, comes in alongside Cooper Gwynn, and when Jaquaylin comes in, number 40 again, he kind of acts like a 6 offensive lineman. He's going to play on the line right alongside one of the tackles and just really get in there and be an extra blocker. All right, so now we're back up to 3rd and 12. Hales motions across, but throw's going to go to Crosby away from him, and he's got some blockers. He's got a little bit of space, and he's fighting just going to be about 2 yards short of the marker. Gets to about the 28-29 there. So it'll be a 4th and short. Admirals leave the offense on the field. Under 2.5 to go in the 3rd, and they're going to snap it. Nettles is going to fake the end around to Stubbs, and he's wrapped up, and he is in trouble right away. Faked it to Crosby up the middle, faked the end around to Mylan. Stubbs coming through from the slot. Just couldn't quite hold the blocks long enough, and Nettles gets sacked in the backfield. That's going to be a turnover on downs. So Picayune is going to take over with good field position here late in the 3rd. They're going to get the ball in about the 23. All right.
You can keep up with all things related to Gulfport Admiral Athletics by following the Gulfport Athletic Department on Facebook. You can also find each individual team's pages on major social media platforms for game day posts, schedule announcements, scores, and more.
All right, yeah, and we do encourage you to follow us along on social media, keep up with all things going in the world of Gulfport Admirals Athletics. Picayune's first play is that fullback trap up the middle. It's going to pick up about 2 or 3 there. Middle of the Admiral defensive line again. L.J. Robertson there held strong on that one. And we got an Admiral down now. Let's see. Looks like that might be Javon Anderson, number 3 down there. Again, one of our more decorated players on defense. He was a first-team All-Region selection last year. He hops up. Coach Penning met him out there real quick. He hops up. He's limping it off, so hopefully he can shake that off. Second and 7 to go on the they backed up to about the 21 here. Robertson checks, takes the snap. He's going to toss it out to Dennis, and he is going to be stopped after about a yard pickup. It looks like that was Samuel Barnes there, 97 on the tackle. So 3rd and mid-range to go here. Picayune 5 for 12 so far on 3rd down tonight. I'm going to mark that about the 18. All right, 3rd and 5 as we get in the final minute of the 3rd quarter. 5-point game in favor of Gulfport at the moment. It's going to be a toss, and even Robertson got out there to lead block. He took a shot from Credarius Payton, but that block from the quarterback is going to pay off. It looks like that's going to be a 1st down for Picayune right at the 10, so we'll see if they drop the chains or leave them up. They're going to drop, so it'll be 1st and goal from the 10. Picayune's 2nd trip to the red zone. Last one was on their last possession. They had to get a field goal out of it. Hand off to the fullback right there, and he's not getting much. He was trying to fight for yards, kept getting pushed sideways. That was L.J. Robertson, and looked like Pierre Felder there getting in on the tackle as we reach the end of the 3rd quarter. And again, as we come to the end of the 3rd, Gulfport leads 21-16. Lala, thank you for joining us for the 3rd quarter.
For having me.
A lot of fun. All right. We'll step aside for a second, bring you the 4th.
I moved to Gulfport High School my 10th grade year. I was at another high school freshman year. 10th grade year I was virtual, so I hadn't stepped foot on the campus at all. The teachers, they didn't really even know who I was, but they were very helpful in accommodating anything. It was a hard time for everyone, so they were very helpful. 11th grade year when I finally moved on campus, it was great. Everyone was very supportive of the things I wanted to do. They have a place for everyone to belong, whatever you want to do in life, and it's really great.
All right, and we are back for the 4th quarter. Tonight's 4th quarter brought to you by Harborview Oral and Facial Surgery. Again, headed into the final period, Gulfport leads 21-16. Although Picayune's got the ball on the 10, it'll be 2nd and goal when we resume. Now I'm joined by yet another of our student broadcasters tonight, so why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself?
So I'm JC Parker. I'm a junior, and I do go to Gulfport High.
All right. While we're getting ready to resume play, teams are kind of jogging back out. We're talking about classes you're in. So you're in forensics, right? So brief second, tell about what you do in there. That's an interesting class.
So forensics at Gulfport High. Our teacher is Miss Henshaw. She's also one of the band directors at our school. It's really just kind of introducing us into how the government is, the police work at our school and in our community, and just really get into the crime scene stuff.
Gotcha. All right. So 2nd and goal from the 10. Robertson's going to throw it. Oh, that was a big shot from Pierre Felder right there. Robertson left his receiver out there to dry, and Pierre came in and delivered a massive hit to him. Got to figure that Picayune player is going to have words for his quarterback afterwards. He kind of got him set up. All right, 3rd and goal from the 10, and the Admiral crowd really getting into it here tonight. Again, really good crowd here tonight on opening night. The weather, I'm sure, is a big factor in that. It's really beautiful. Been a beautiful evening, not too warm at all for late August. Picayune's going to take a timeout. Talk things over.
So during this timeout, we'd like to remind you to take a timeout with Review and Thrive. Located at 1073 Acadian Drive in Gulfport, come enjoy their saunas, cold plunges, contrast therapy, a rejuvenating salt room, or even shut out the world in their sensory deprivation float suite. With the state-of-the-art equipment and over a decade of combined experience in the field, these Gulfport High alumni are ready to tailor their services to empower you to thrive. So whether you're getting ready for your next big event or just wanting to feel rejuvenated in your daily life, contact Revive and Thrive to book an appointment or ask about membership options today.
All right. Thank you, JC. All right. So, again, big play coming up here. 3rd and goal from the 10. Gulfport up by 5 here in the 4th quarter on what looks to be a really exciting game here to open the 2025 season, the final season at Milner Stadium. Crowd and the band really getting into it. Robertson's going to roll out, looks to throw it back across the side. It is a wide open Xavier Dennis, the running back. He got lost in the mix, and that is a touchdown for Picayune, so they will take the lead here on the first, on their first possession of the 4th quarter. Let's see about 1, see if they go for 2 here. Looks like they're leaving the offense on the field. Last year, just looking at it, Gulfport only faced 1 2-point conversion attempt defensively and made the stop. So here we face our first one of the 2025 season. Robertson's going to toss it out to Dennis, and he's going to be stood up, but I think he pushed through, and he is going to score. So they get the 2-point conversion, and the lead will go to 3. So with 11:46 left to go in tonight's game, it is Picayune 24, Gulfport 21.
Gulfport football's big men in the trenches are sponsored by Gulfside Periodics of Gulfport. When it comes to strong teams, you know the foundation matters. And when it comes to your smile, Gulfside Periodics is the MVP from advanced dental implants and laser gum therapy to expert periodical care. Their team is trusted by families across the Mississippi Gulf Coast. Located at 423 Security Square in Gulfport, Gulfside Periodics uses cutting-edge technology to treat gum diseases, restore your smile, and keep your oral health in championship form. No pain, no pressure, just precision care. Contact Dr. Thomas Carter and his staff at Gulfside Periodics today. Visit them at gulfsideperio.com or give them a call at 228-205-4853.
All right, so still early in the 4th. Picayune's up to a 3-point lead. Good game here that's developed tonight, though. It's good back and forth game. And this kickoff is going to go to Crosby again. Again on that left side. Caught it just in front of the goal line. He breaks the tackle. He's got a lot of space to go. Kicker's left. Cooper's going to run right past him. There's no flags on the field. Cooper is going to take it all the way.
Yes.
99 yards on the kickoff return. Touchdown,
and
Admirals.
Crosby got a touchdown.
There's about 4 players left down on the ground after that one. Cortel Crandall for Gulfport, one of them. 2 Picayune players. Cooper, that was a really solid kickoff. Cooper retreated just to the front edge of the goal line and ran it back all 99 into the south end zone. Touchdowns brought to you by Brian Jacobs State Farm. So that Picayune lead didn't last too long.
I feel like that's definitely the fire that we needed after we were getting in sort of a slump after we got down about those 3 points.
Absolutely, and look, last year's game, we won it pretty comfortably, but it was a back-and-forth affair, and then late, second half, Cooper sprung a 93-yard run. We were deep in our own territory, broke free on a play kind of similar on a run from scrimmage there, though. Had a 93-yard touchdown run, and that kind of put the seal on it for us. So another big play from him there to add to his night. That's his 3rd touchdown overall in the evening. He had 2 on the ground before that. Carter Platt on for his 4th PAT attempt of the evening.
Cooper is definitely known for making his big plays.
Braxton Boswell's snap is good. Caleb McDonald's hold is good. And Carter Platt's kick is good for the 4th straight time. So with 11:24 left, Gulfport now leads 28-24. All right, so while we got a quick break, you mentioned you're in Mr. Rogers' class, and again, Mr. Wesley Rogers, the mastermind behind our operation here on our live stream. So why don't you talk a little bit about what happens in that class?
So for Mr. Rogers and Mr. Elwer class, we're the multimedia. So we do like the ocean, so just like our weekly videos to like keep our students updated on what goes on throughout our school. If you're watching the films as you're watching the game live, that's actually our multimedia class doing that. It's a whole class. We just like go around the school interviewing people, filming, just keeping students updated about what's happening at our school.
Yeah, and as we said, the episode that came out today was the first one of year 7 of the Admiral Ocean. It had some really good segments. Talked about the blood drive coming up, their health science classes are doing. Mentioned all the new crew got to introduce themselves, but we also had staff offered a 20-year perspective on Hurricane Katrina, which was really neat. So a lot of good things. Again, you want to keep up with what's going on at Gulfport High School. Awesome things happening all the time. Admiral Ocean weekly show, and again, on the WGTV Facebook page, you can find those every week. All right, Platt is on to kick off. He's going to kind of chip this one to the corner again, and Picayune's going to fair catch it on their own 22. So that's where they'll take over for their next possession. Really the big thing here, our defense is starting to show some signs of getting broken down a little bit. Picayune's up over 200 yards on the ground, averaging just under 5 a carry, but their handful of drives in the third quarter and that one that kind of partially went into the fourth, they really had a lot of success gaining yardage on us, especially on runs up the middle, runs outside. And we're starting to show a little bit of wear on our defense. So with 11 minutes to go, really time for our guys to bear down. We're gonna see the work we put in the summer in the weight room, running, the conditioning stuff. That's about to show up here. That's what's getting tested here. That and the mental toughness side of it. Picayune starts on their own 22 for this possession. Gulfport up by 4. They're going to toss it outside. And that's going to be a good start for the defensive series there as DeAndre Williams got in on that tackle.
I definitely feel like our football team is very pumped up for this last quarter. They're definitely going to stay out there strong.
Mm-hmm. Right, it'd be 2nd and 7 on the 25, about 7-8 to go here. Be another toss out there. And big pickup, but a big hit also in the end. Cordarius Payton, man, one thing about this defense so far, and Hathorne had a good pickup there, but we've got a handful of guys that delivered some really, really big hits tonight. Tyrell Seals dropped a big one. Cordarius has had a few. Pierre Felder had a big one on that goal line series back on that last possession. And we got an injured Admiral down for the moment. So we'll pause in the action for a second here. Jason, every student we brought in, we talked about the pep rally today. I thought it was really good, a lot of excitement. There was a real buzz of excitement. I think there's a lot of excitement among students today. It's the first football game of the year. We have a pretty high expectations for this team. You talked about it was a pretty exciting morning, right?
Yes, I say one thing I think that the students look forward to every single pep rally is the spirit steak. And at Gulfport, it's kind of known that our current seniors always get the spirit steak. So our juniors, every single pep rally, we do all get a little sour every time the seniors win, but we all do swear up and down that we win it every time. And I feel like the freshmen, like for the first pep rally today, I definitely think that we did set a very good example and standard for how our pep rallies should be.
Yeah, it was kind of funny towards the end that some of that freshman section, which I teach freshmen, so I was in that section. They looked a little puzzled as what to do at some point, so it's fun, but they're learning.
Yeah, I think we definitely got whenever we started throwing toilet paper and confetti and all that in the air.
All right, back to the action. Another run. It looks like it was DeAndre Williams and Maven Daniel in on that tackle, and Picayune's going to just have enough to pick up the first down. So they continue driving down here. Just under 10 minutes to go tonight in what's been a really good game to start us off. Ball is on the 34. It's going to be a toss outside to Dennis, and he's going to cut back towards the middle where Jamarian Davis and L.J. Robertson are going to get to him. About a 3-yard pickup there. There's a toss outside to Dennis, and it looks like, oh no, he bounced away. And he's got a lot of space now. He's cutting back again, and Alex Wilde on the pursuit there at the end chases him out of bounds, but that's a big pickup. It's going to be about 25 there on the play for Picayune, another first down for them. And they're starting to, those gaps in the run game that they're hitting starting to get a little bit bigger these last few possessions. The effects of them kind of one after another. That was the 50th run play they've had tonight. They're up to 247 yards, so right at 5 a carry. They're starting to see the rewards for that, effort to try to wear down our defense there. 1st and 10, it's a handoff to the fullback, and he's got a decent pickup there. It looks like Maven Daniel kind of got taken for a ride for a few yards there on that one. So it'll be second and mid-range there. All right, so we'll say it's 2nd and 4 to go. Ball on the 28. 7.5 to go in the fourth quarter here. Toss outside to, and he's going to bounce off, and that is going to be another first down. That was Javius Hales actually getting some defensive time in, making the tackle. That was Jamari Hawthorne, again, one of those two backs that's getting the majority of the carries there for Picayune, but another first down again. They are back in the red zone here on the 12-yard line. They've scored on both of the red zone possessions so far. 1 touchdown, 1 field goal. Another run out to the outside, and it's going to be about a 3 or 4 yard pickup to the about the 8-yard line here. So another healthy pickup there for Picayune.
It definitely looks like Picayune is trying to run the clock off.
Yeah, that definitely, that's one thing, shortening the game up a little bit. They have held the ball the vast majority of the second half, especially because we scored on a kickoff return. So it's been a while since our offense has been on the field. It's going to be important for them to be able to jump back out. Fullback carry up the middle, and there's a big scrum. We'll see, can we stop the momentum? Yeah, they do. Just short of the goal line, so Picayune's about to have it on the 2. I think they'll get the first down, so it'll be 1st and goal inside the 3. So it's goal to go again. We'll see. It'd be interesting to see, Picayune's last goal to go situation. They beat us on an outside pass after kind of faking it. We'll see if we get caught in that situation again, maybe if we can get to a 3rd down, see if we can maintain our discipline there.
Especially where they are on the field right now, we're definitely going to need a big stop right now.
Mm-hmm. They're going to pound it up the middle to the fullback, and he just got across, and that will be a touchdown for Picayune. So they will jump back in front with the lead. Let's see. So they'll line up for the PAT here.
Hopefully he'll miss again.
Yeah. Struck that one pretty good. I think that first one, maybe they were just a little, maybe those first game nerves must have got to him on the first kick because he struck the last few pretty well. That one is good. So with 5:37 to go in this one, Picayune is back in front, 31-28. But like we said, you can't be disappointed with the entertainment value of this one. This has been a really good game to get us started. And the other thing, the last 2 years, our first game of the season been big blowout wins. Last year we beat Greenville Christian 41-6. The year before, beat Gaucher 42-0 in the opener. Those are games, sometimes it's good to get guys in, you get some backups in, some reps, but this is a really good game, and that's going to really build your character, test you. We're going to get to work on some, close late game situation here, so that when we get to division play and maybe the first round of the playoffs or so, we get into a tight game back and forth. We're not going to be untested at this point. So I think ultimately, regardless of the outcome, our coaches are going to have to be pleased with that we are going to get tested. We got a quality opponent, and we're doing a good job of hanging with a really good program here.
So, Coach Chambers, as you're watching this game, what do you think the outlook on our season is going to be? How do you think our players are going to do to, be able to adapt to our seniors not being here, our seniors from last year, and just having to adapt to the new environment?
Yeah, I don't think there's anything you can be really too disappointed with so far. We had some question marks going into this year. The secondary on defense, they're not getting tested much tonight because of Picayune's style of offense, so that'll be a question for further down the road where we had to replace 3 of the 4 guys back there. Offensively, feel like we have to feel fairly satisfied with the performance tonight. We knew what we have with Cooper Crosby. We know he's one of the best running backs in the state, and he showed that tonight. But Javice Hales, several really good plays.
I feel like he's definitely going to step up this season.
Absolutely. And I think the offensive line, which is kind of a question mark, replacing a lot of guys, they've held their own for the most part. Everybody's going to have a few bad plays when you're against Picayune. They've got, an SEC commit. They've got another guy getting Division I offers. They're going to win some plays, but our offensive line's not allowed them to take over the game necessarily.
I'm really excited to see how Carter Platt's going to do this year kicking since Jesus has graduated.
Yeah, and that's another thing. The specialists, I feel like we got to be fairly pleased with that so far tonight. Again, we lost Grayson Tegeter and Jesus Cardenas last year who did all of our kicking. Carter's had a good night to start us off.
I feel like they'll all do good this season, just being able to adapt and just kind of growing up and, understanding their new roles.
Yeah. All right, Admiral start this possession on their own 32. Cooper's getting a carry, and he's got a lot of momentum ahead of him. He's going to pick up a first down, brought to you by Horn Custom Jewelry. And the Admirals are going to get on the ball pretty quick here, it looks like. They want to get Picayune back retreating again. The offense, been a while since they've been on the field. Picayune's had a lot of really lengthy drives this second half, and then we had the kickoff return, so we basically skipped an offensive possession. That snap just wasn't quite there. It's going to be a false start. Bruce Davis is playing center. This is his first varsity start tonight, and he's held his own pretty well. It's one of the centers, kind of one of those things, when you don't notice them, it means they're going well. You tend to only notice when the snaps are not good and they're causing problems, but he's had a really good game so far tonight. That was his first one. A little bit like he kind of double clutched it there, so Admirals will back up to their own 40. First and 15 now. Daniels gets the new play in, and they'll fake the handoff to Crosby, roll out. He's going to hit Cooper Gwynn on the flat, and that's a good pickup for about 8 yards. Yeah, Cooper lost his helmet there.
Now, one thing I do have to give a shout out to is definitely our student section. As Lala was saying, how the SALT group just tries to make everybody feel very included and not trying to start a drama. Being in the student section firsthand tonight, I definitely feel like they're doing so well at that.
Yeah, and that's awesome to hear that that's the perspective. The student section is pretty far from where we're at in the broadcast booth, so hard to really see. It looks like we got a really good turnout there.
I feel like one thing we're very good about doing is all the sports coming together to watch all the other sports.
Yeah, that is true. All right before that snap happened, we have a timeout called by Gulfport. That's their first one of the half.
Now, during this timeout, we would like to remind you to take a timeout with Revive and Thrive, located at 1073 Acadian Drive in Gulfport. Come enjoy their saunas, cold plunges, contrast therapy, and rejuvenating salt room, or even shut out the world in their sensory deprivation float suite. With state-of-the-art equipment and over a decade of combined experience in the field, these Gulfport High alumni are ready to tailor their services to empower you to thrive. So whether you're getting ready for your next big event or just wanting to feel rejuvenated in your daily life, contact Revive and Thrive to book an appointment or ask about membership options today.
All right, so we'll have a 2nd and 8 when we get back to it. Gulfport just wanted to, Coach Pink just wanted to kind of talk that over, make sure we had the right play in here. A really important series, down by 3 with 4:31 to go. All right, we'll have 3 receivers bunched to the side here. That's Morgan, Stubbs, and Hales. Crosby in the backfield. Stubbs is going to motion across now. Handoff will go to Crosby. He's got some room to work with. He's going to pick up another Horn Custom Jewelry first down across the 40, down at the 39. Cooper up to 135 on the ground tonight. Fakes the handoff there, and that pass just a little short. Javius Hales, Nettles is getting on him. It looks like Hales might have run the wrong route. They weren't quite on the same page there. I think Parker thought he was going to come back to the ball a little bit more. So that one will fall incomplete, and it'll be 2nd and 10.
One thing I'm really excited for, looking forward to staying at Gulfport, is the new stadium that is talking about being built.
Yeah, and that's something we're all really excited about, having an on-campus stadium, so we can have everything there at our school. Cooper gets stuffed up the middle right there. They're going to let him get marked right at the line of scrimmage, though, so not too big of a drop-off.
Now, do you think this could be our last football season at Milner Stadium, the grass field?
Do what now?
Do you think this is going to be the last football season at Milner?
Yeah, that's the plan in place. And everything I've heard is, we're going to be on schedule for starting next season in our new on-campus stadium. So there's going to be a lot of excitement around that. I know one thing I've heard in conversations, it may not look like much is getting done, but there's a lot happening, and the stadium's just going to kind of be done in the last few stages all at once. Nettles rolls out, hits Stubbs. Stubbs picks that one off the ground. Did a good job of keeping his knees up, too. Gets chased out of bounds, and we'll see where they mark it.
I think definitely one thing I'm going to miss about Milner is the grass field. I feel like Gulfport is very known for that.
Oh, yes. We are very rare locally for having a natural grass field. I think within our division, we're the only team that has a natural grass field. So
yes.
That is definitely, we're kind of one of the last holdouts there. All right, 3:15 to go. We are going to use our 2nd timeout of the second half. So we're down to 1 left. 4th and 5 facing us. Again, great night for football, great night out here at Milner. A lot of people have showed up tonight. Just a great way to start this new season off and go into Labor Day weekend. I know we're all really excited for the game tonight, but also excited for the 3-day weekend ahead. And I see JC and Ms. Hornback here are all very, very strongly nodding their heads. And
Yes, I feel like having our first football game the same weekend as Labor Day is just a really good start to the season so far.
Absolutely. Yes, and as I said, we are it's kind of a sign that we're getting much closer to that first intercession, that 2-week break in the fall that we have. That so we were a little questioned about when we adopted it, but everybody seems to really love it. All right, 4th and 5, biggest play of the night so far for the Admirals. 3:15 to go in the fourth. Picayune leads by 3.
I definitely hear the stands.
And Picayune is going to take a timeout. They kind of waited to see our formation and then decided they want to talk it over, so they're going to take their second timeout.
I think they're just trying to run the clock again.
So we'll take some more steps in the progress of the chess match between the coach and staffs here. Gulfport's had one attempt on a 4th down so far. It was unsuccessful. Picayune's had 2 that they did convert. All right, it is 4th and 5. Line to gain is about the 29. The Admirals have 4 receivers, 3 up top. Javius Hales down by himself. Crosby in the backfield with Nettles. Nettles drops back. He's staring at Hales the whole time. Tries the back shoulder, and it's off the hands and just can't quite hang on to it. Really tight coverage there from Jamari Hathorn, who's played a lot for Picayune tonight. And that'll be a turnover on downs with 3:10 to go.
Now, Coach Hamlis, what would you say the distance of our kicker, Carter Platt, is capable of?
You know, I don't think I have a set answer as to what's the full extent of his range. I know 2 weeks ago we had a big scrimmage. It was kind of their last big inter-squad scrimmage here at the stadium. He made a kick successfully from about 39, 40 yards out that night. So I think everything inside that range is definitely in play for him. Where we were right there, 33, that's a 50-yard kick. It's probably a little bit outside his range in game conditions, but I think we were getting closer to it. So we have Hathorn, who's in coverage there on Hales, is injured, so he's getting 10-2 for the moment.
Now, I've definitely noticed a few players getting stretched, maybe cramping, and with the cooler weather. And sometimes, definitely as an athlete myself, I feel like players don't stay as hydrated whenever the air is just starting to cool down because they're just so used to the hot weather, and they think that it's cool now, they don't need to drink as much water.
Yeah, that's a good point. You know, it is, you know, the weather's cooled down a lot this week. You know, it's in the mornings it's been much more pleasant. Tonight's been great. It's been overcast all day. Great weather to be out at a football game in. So, yeah, it could have been, you know, kind of this getting, you know, sneaking up on them because it may be, you know, unseasonably cool for us, and there's a decent breeze, you know, coming in tonight as well here at the stadium, but it's still fairly warm. So there have been a lot of cramps in the second half of this game. It's also, I think, partially due to just the really physical nature of how this game's been played. There's been a lot of really big hits delivered from both teams tonight.
Now, back to our kickers, I would definitely have to say every morning whenever we pull up to school, I always see one of our kickers in the field in the morning just kicking field goals over and over, just putting in the work just to get better.
Yeah, and that's what it takes. So Picayune's first possession is going to start with an outside run. DeAndre Williams in pursuit, and he just can't quite get to him. He's tripped up, and that's Xavier Dennis is going to fall down on it to bleed the clock more right before Trey Peters could get to him. That's going to be a first down for Picayune. And that'll move the ball down into their half of the field. That's going to be spotted about the 43 there. So that's a 24-yard pickup. And I'm sure they're going to use every second of the play clock they can here. It's down to 4. Dennis going to get that handoff again. Stop short there. Javon Anderson, Jamarian Davis were in really good pursuit right there. Gulfport's going to use our last timeout right there. Again, timeouts brought to you by Revive and Thrive.
Now, Coach Hamlis, what would you say our school environment was like today with like the students and the staff for today's first football game?
Oh, I think it was great today. You know, there was definitely an air of excitement. You know, it was. I think there's been a lot of anticipation for this season. And one thing about it, I will say this: there's plenty of great reasons to criticize social media and all the harms and ills it can do to society. But I think one thing that's a positive effect of it is it's really good at rallying our students.
Yes.
Y'all have done a great job of putting out posts about things, getting people excited about the theme dress. We did neon today, and you're in your your construction vest, your bright orange, bright neon yellow green construction vest. A lot of people wore those today. I think that built a sense of belonging community that's been really good. In our school, it's really helped the school spirit, I think.
Yeah, I'll definitely have to give it to the Admiral Nation, our Instagram page. It definitely gives us a good laugh. Now, that was a pretty big stop right there.
Absolutely. That was Trey Peters there with a huge hit on Macon Burnett. Caught him in the backfield there. So that'll be a loss of a yard. As the clock continues to bleed down, that's really the big thing there. They'll snap this one right around the 2-minute mark. You got 13 left on the play clock, 2:09 on the game. 3rd and 11. And it looks like Picayune went with a hard count. We'll see who it gets called on. Both players, both sides pointing at each other. Both side judges come in to offer their perspectives to the head referee. And this is really the decision that determines the game here. It's going to be a false start on Picayune, so that'll push him back. Hard count got his own guys to flinch there. So that'll be 3rd and 16 now. So ball will be spotted on the Gulfport 49, just past midfield. And we're at 1:58 left in the game. Play clock down to 5. Picayune's going to have to hurry getting this off. They're going to hand it off to Dennis, and he is brought down for another loss. He's going to stay in bounds, but that is going to force a 4th and long. So the Admirals keep their chances alive here.
Maybe that was the play right there, just to give them that pump they had just a minute ago.
Yeah, absolutely. That pushes the ball back on the other side of midfield. I'm sure Picayune is probably going to run this play clock down as far as they can there. And, yeah, I don't know if they'll call the timeout at 1 or they'll take a delay game and figure those extra 5 yards might not be worth the timeout. But we're down to, let's see, they're going to call that timeout, their final one of the night, at 1:12 to go. Again, timeouts brought to you by Revive and Thrive on Acadian Drive in Gulfport. Go see them for your recovery needs. It's a business owned by 2 Gulfport alumni, and we're glad for their sponsorship this year of our timeouts.
No, I do definitely think that this is a grudge match.
Yeah, it's interesting. Last year we talked about it. One of the best games we played all season. We won 41-21 on their field. Kind of embarrassed them. We ran for 411 yards on them. The best all-around game I've seen a Gulfport team play in many years. And Picayune's a very proud program, very good program, very consistently good. They made the playoffs 21 of the last 23 years. I think that probably stung them a little bit. I mean, they only had 2 losses in the regular season all of last year, and that was one of them. So, I think they've probably been talking a lot all offseason in their preparations, trying to get us back for this one. So, again, 1:12 to go. Picayune in punt formation, just on short of the midfield mark. Oh, Jayon Pollard almost got to it to block it. That ball is going to backspin a little bit, though, help Gulfport a bit. So they're going to fall on it with 1:04 to go. Gulfport has no timeouts, but we have another possession. We've got 4 downs to work with.
Now, I think one team I'm probably very excited to watch Gulfport play this year is they actually just moved into our district is West Harrison. We haven't played them yet in a long time.
Yeah, it's a local team in our county. I know a lot of our students know students that go there, and we haven't had a lot of games against them. So they are in our district now. They moved up to 7A, so we're going to have a 6-game division season. We'll see them here in a few months. All right, 1:04 to go. Ball on our own 33, and this is likely to be our last chance in the game tonight. Nettles going to swing the first one out quickly to Crosby, and he's going to get about 6 yards before he steps out of bounds wisely there. Good positive play to get us going. That's one thing you hear about a lot in football when you have this, last-minute, 2-minute drive situation. You want to get some positive yards on that first play. Just get a little bit of forward momentum. Doesn't have to be a ton, but you want to get something there.
And, back to us playing West Harrison, I think just talking to all of our football players is one player at West Harrison that is very known on the coast is Jordan Stapleton.
Yeah. Nettles pass there was intended for Pollard, got knocked down by the Picayune defender, so we'll have a 3rd down coming up here. Yeah, West Harrison has a really good player up there. So, he's going to be a tough matchup for us when we see them. But a lot of good individual players around the coast, so it's going to be a fun season seeing how we match up against all of them.
Now, this is a question that I think everyone would like to answer to, is Harrison Central. So they're still in the 7A district, but they move up to North State, that region.
Crosby's got the screen pass, makes a guy miss. He's a 1st down. Admirals are going to have to get on the ball quick. He's just across midfield.
Crosby will get it done.
Yep. That's a Horn Custom Jewelry 1st down. Ball to the 49. Nettles throws this one, and that's Mylan Stubbs, and he's got a lot of space to go after the catch. He's inside the red zone, down to the 16. Another big play right there.
Now, Mylan, I have a lot of classes with Mylan. I've known Mylan all throughout middle school and high school, and everybody has called him D1 Stubbs throughout our school years. Mylan's probably one of the nicest, sweetest people that you've probably ever met, especially just being around all the football guys. You think he would act all big and tough, but Mylan's definitely a sweetheart out of one of those.
That's good to know. Look, and we love to root for all of our Gulfport High School athletes, but it's even better when you know the quality people they are behind the scenes. What they're like when they're not in the pads and the helmet. And we hear that about a lot of our players.
DeAndre Williams.
Oh, yeah.
We've always called him Pork Chop throughout school.
Yeah, Tavion was mentioning that in the first quarter earlier.
Or Pork Chopper Maui is what we call him.
All right.
Now, DeAndre, he's a huge goofball.
All right. Admirals are in the Citizens Bank red zone. Ball in the 17. 36 seconds to go. Down by 3.
As you see,
no timeouts left.
As you see our football players trying to hype up our stands.
Swing pass out to Crosby. Isolated the runner. All right, and he's tackled inbounds. So that clock is ticking. So we're going to have to hurry on the ball. Under 30 seconds to go now. Nettles is going to spike it, so that'll bring up 3rd and 4 when we get there. So that'll stop the clock so we can reset and get a fresh play in. All right, 3rd and 4. 4 receivers on the field. Nettles takes it, looks to the left. He's got it. Cooper, and it's intercepted there. It's Hathorn who caught it. Tried to hit him on the wheel route out there, and it just came up a bit short. And that is a tough way to close out this one here. Really tough-fought game for the Admirals. Going to come up just a few yards short there. Nettles' pass just didn't quite get enough on it. 12 seconds ago, Picayune will take over there. And that was a route we saw a lot last year. We had a lot of success with that. Cooper on the wheel route. We had DeCorian Payton, who now plays at Pearl River Community College. He was also a really deadly weapon there on the wheel route. So it's a play that we've had a lot of success with, and I think it was there just a little bit underthrown, a little more air under that ball, and we might be celebrating right now. But as it is, tough way to wrap that one up. Picayune will come out for their final kneel down here. All right, Picayune takes their kneel down to run off the final seconds. So the final score tonight in the opener, Picayune 31, Gulfport 28. Tough way to finish it up, but in reality, a good battle there. Good way to test ourselves to start out the season. Not the ending we wanted, but ultimately I think we're a better team now than we were 2.5 hours ago. We'll regroup. Honestly, probably a good it's hard to think that week 2 would be a good time to have your off week, but I think after tonight's game, we could probably use an extra week to rest and get ready for our next one when we face off against Laurel. JC, thanks for joining us. Hope you enjoyed your time on the broadcast
You're welcome.
tonight.
Thank you for letting me come.
You did a great job. So, and we had a great night with all of our student broadcasters. It was really fun. This is the first night we've done it. So we look forward to doing that more in our home games this year. Again, the final score was 31-28. Quick overview on the numbers. Gulfport had 322 yards of offense. Parker Nettles, 15 for 24, 184 in the air, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Cooper Crosby had 13 carries for 135, 2 touchdowns. Also had the 99-yard kickoff return for a score. Javius Hales led us receiving, 5 catches for 95 yards. Mylon Stubbs had 2 for 38. And Crosby had 5 for 36. Defensively, L.J. Robertson led us, 8 tackles. Trey Peters had 7 to start off his senior season. He had 2 of them for a loss. Picayune, 330 yards of offense, 302 on the ground on 59 carries, just a little over 5 per carry. And as we mentioned, the kicking game, Carter Platt, 3 for 3 on the PATs. So tough way to wrap up the night, but overall, really good game, really tough fought one. Next game for Gulfport, again, we're off next week. So in 2 weeks, we will be at Laurel. So you can be sure to join us then in 2 weeks. Kickoff will be at 7 o'clock. Again, 2 weeks from tonight. We will see you then. So for the best broadcast team in the business, Mr. Roger and Elward, and all of our broadcasters, Jake Chan was saying good night and have a great Labor Day weekend.